Not wearing underwear is referred to as going commando, meaning that everything is out in the open and ready for action. Although it could refer to the current practice of our armed forces of simply not having enough protection and being horribly exposed. Satire. Right, it's now the turn of Phil Jupitus. Phil's family migrated from Lithuania, arriving in the Isle of Wight in 1917. And if you want to know what the Isle of Wight was like in 1917, you can go there now. Your subject, Phil, is the Vikings, Scandinavian seafaring warriors who raided and colonised wide areas of Europe from the 9th to the 11th century. Fingers on buzzers, the rest of you. Off you go, Phil.
There have been many great civilisations throughout history, but the Viking... Oh, here we go.
Graham.
I think they have.
Yes, I think undoubtedly they have, unless we are to disparage all human endeavour. That wasn't...
Well, let's do that, come on. Yeah. Let's disparage all human endeavour.
Everything has always been crap. No, I think that wasn't one of Phil's truths, but I think you get a point for that, so, yeah.
The Vikings were, without a shadow of a doubt, history's worst sailors. But what they lacked in navigational finesse, they made up for with extreme violence.
Arthur?
Well, I think that's true. Probably. I mean, those funny boats couldn't have got very far, could they? And they were famously very good at raping and pillaging. I mean, I think they introduced the combination.
It's not the jacket potato.
Surf and turf. It's such an attractive combination. No, but the thing is, they didn't actually lack navigational finesse at all. They were brilliant sailors, considering that they didn't have like outboard motors or compasses or GPS or anything. Unless all they meant to do was pot around the coast. In which case they got blown way off course, and it was only irritation at that led to the aforementioned rape and pillaging. No, that's not true. Phil?
Like a precursor to the modern-day booze cruise, Norse mariners would drink gallons of cheap vodka and set sail. This is undoubtedly how Eric the Red discovered a new world, which he was so keen for people to settle on that he went home describing it as a lush paradise which he named Greenland, which then, in truth, was not only not green, it was barely even land.
Tony?
I know this. It wasn't green at all. It was all done to make it sound like a brilliant place and tempt them to go there.
That's absolutely right. Yes, well done. It's essentially the equivalent of showing British holidaymakers a picture of fantastic, what do they call them? You know, when you buy a flat in Spain, but you... That's it, thank you.
They were very good at PR, essentially. They invented PR.
It was like PR for a timeshare, saying, oh, look, this is lovely, it's only a drawing, though, in fact, it's a building site.
Are you going to give some of your fee to that bloke down there? Because that bit of material was nothing without him.
Yeah. He's already on my staff.
Oh, OK.
He's my noun guy. Okay. But you were quite right, it was called Greenland to make it sound lovely, and it was, in fact, snowy and horrible. Yeah. Although it's less snowy now. Phil?
And like anybody, the motivation for leaving their homes and travelling was simply good times. After releasing their direction-finding raven, or Ravnav, they'd set off in search of brighter shores.
Graham?
I have a feeling they did use ravens to navigate with.
They did, yes, absolutely. They used to take a lot of ravens on board the ship with them, and they'd release one, and if it flew back the way they'd come, that meant they weren't near any other land, and if it flew forwards, they'd essentially follow it, because it would be flying towards land.
One use only, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had to have a lot of ravens. Yeah. And they also had to pick sailors who didn't find raven delicious.
They also had to trust the raven a lot, didn't they, really? Because, one mad raven in the lot... And they were finished. They were dead.
Yes, you're right. But there must be a terrible inbuilt Scandinavian fear of mad birds as a result.
I met some mad birds in Scandinavia.
The Vikings left their mark wherever they went, but perhaps their most enduring export is the custom of getting hammered and taking your shirt off just before having a fight. It's tragic to think that had they just turned left sooner and headed a bit further south, they would have hit the Costa del Sol instead.
Tony.
I think he's right with the directions. I think they would have ended up on the Costa del Sol.
I don't think so.
Why don't you throw up in a raven and find out?
No, well, it's certainly not an official truth.
Wouldn't they end up in Belgium or something? I mean, if you're coming from Norway, look, let's trace it out here.
If you come out from southern Norway and do a left, you hit Denmark straight away.
You're going to go straight into the
not
Baltic.
the Costa del Sol, is it?
No.
Yeah.
You'd have to turn left a lot later.
We sound like the worst cabbies you've ever been with. No, you come out of Norway, do a left.
I'm not going south of the Channel this time of night.
So, yes, I think that's not true.
Yeah.
The Vikings went pagan god crazy. Every time a new concept cropped up in Norse society, somebody had to come up with a god for it. This delightfully random methodology is how they ended up with such unlikely deities as Lag, the god of alcohol, Ul, the god of snow-based footwear, and Latka, the god...
Arthur.
Yeah, Latka. I remember Latka. I've just heard that word, Latka. I was in a pantomime in Denmark for a bit. And... I really was.
Knuf die godut! Mahugdeg! It was Lacta, the goddess of dairy goods.
Yeah, I don't think Lacta, the goddess of dairy goods, exists.
Yeah. I'm feeling a bit foolish now.
Easy as it is to criticise the psychopathic Scandinavian beastmen,
Graham.
Well, it's very easy.
I'm going to go with Phil, because I think he said easy as it... He didn't say it is easy. Carry on, Phil.
Okay. At least the Vikings gave boring old Britain some rock and roll. Like Oasis, only slightly less mental, they turn up in a new town, make a din, upset the locals and leave. So what if they were heavily armed nutcases in funny hats? Without the Vikings, we would have no Elvis.
Thank you, Phil. At the end of that round, you've smuggled 3 truths past the rest of the panel, although obviously also made up some other truths accidentally, which you didn't smuggle past. But the 3 you got past were that the Vikings can claim some responsibility for the custom of getting hammered and taking your shirt off before having a fight, because the Vikings did fight stripped to the waist and were known to drink ale before a fight. And that was very
When you have a fight, David, do you not strip off to the waist?
I've never had a fight.
Well, quelle surprise.
Is that
stripped off to the waist?
Doubt it.
God, no. Oh. No, I've been clothed since the age of 2.
I find that if you strip to the waist from the shoes up, the fight doesn't last anywhere near as long. Off come the unmentionables and wallop.
The second truth is that Ul is the Viking god, or was the Viking god of snow-based footwear. And the third truth is that without the Vikings, there would be no Elvis, in the sense
I was
that...
going to say that. It's a word, is it? Or a name?
The name Elvis comes from the Old Norse, meaning all-wise.
Yeah.
Never has it been more appropriately applied. Which means, Phil, you've scored 3 points. Many Norse words have formed part of our English language. The god Woden gave his name to Wednesday. We get hurrah from huzzah, the Norse battle cry. And, of course, saga was the Norse word for a series of coach tours, boating holidays, and late-start life insurance plans. Now it's the turn of Graham Garden. Your subject, Graham, is Birmingham, a metropolitan borough in the West Midlands and the second largest city in the United Kingdom. Off you go, Graham.
Birmingham is chiefly notable for having a population of 0. This is quite simply due to the fact that it is on the moon.
Arthur.
I think there's something like a place, Lake Birmingham, or the moon as a name is registered as Birmingham somewhere, and therefore that is true,
You think the moon's called Birmingham?
It does look that way, yes.
Were you brought up to call it Birmingham? Very romantic in this Birmingham life.